I think a lot of my videos, if not all of them, should begin with "Don't try this at home," or "My facility will make you feel that much better about yours." I'm in the middle of doing the brake job on this car and replacing brake lines and fuel lines, and the fuel lines and brake lines I got for it were off of a 72 Corvette. They were brand new, so some of the bins had to be changed just a little bit. But right now it's so hard to order parts. Things are on back order and people can't tell me when I'll get the parts that I need, so I'm making this stuff work with relative ease. But you know, this car's waited too long and I don't feel like waiting 6 months on parts or whenever. But anyway, I thought it best to go ahead and lift this body up. I needed to add to some of the frame mounts, and this was no easy task, getting this lifted up here with a less than desirable facility. And I'm real careful with the body. I don't hardly even bump it or anything, but you know, I put new rotors on it and put the calipers off of that other vet, put all my brake lines on it, and as I look it over, there's some bolts and stuff that didn't have the nuts put on there. So you know, this car was kind of, I guess, put together quickly. And so I'm going through looking at everything and trying to make it right. Took me a while to figure out how that was routed, that line that runs from one side of the car to the other. This would be the only way to change out the drive shaft yoke, or the better way, because that was really hard to get those bolts tightened, nuts tightened, with it up in the transmission tunnel. Another thing I'm fixing to jump into is those 4-speed shifting rods linkages that I've got on here. That was kind of something I pieced together out of stuff I had. It works well, but I really don't, you know, when I was going through the box of Corvette parts, I found actual Hurst Competition Plus shifter rods. So later tonight I'm going to pull the shifter off and put the correct rods on it and adjust that out and everything. It'll be a lot easier to work on it like that. Oh man, this has been crazy. And you know, before I got to really lifting up on the body, I took and put some straps on it to make sure it holds the right contours. And the only reason why I have these bottle jacks on it is just to so that it doesn't dip down in the middle. I've got these jacks back here. Like I said, it's not the best setup, but I can really get up in there and see what I'm doing. You know, I took the top off of it and had to take that back splash pan off of it for the so it would clear the frame. Never worked on these things before. A lot of it is learning. This is the 396 out of my 55 Chevrolet. Kind of waiting to see how that 427 will do. If it's too radical to really drive it on the street, that engine right there is kind of mild and it's a good motor. It's never been bored. So I may use that if I drive this car too much. Sure like the sound of that 427. Anyway, it's my new fuel line for this side. And my new brakes. So that's what I'm doing with it this week. I can't start the motor up and listen to that heavenly sound. Anyway, not in this video. Also waiting on new headers. Man, the steering box, I can't even believe they even bothered putting the steering box back on. Look at this. This would be the time to replace it. Just as dry as it can be. So I may buy one off a Ben friend and put that on, or I'm kind of debating about putting a Borgenson on it. So I got a few nuts I need to tighten up on this rear end that were not ever installed. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to jump into that shifter. And then hopefully soon I can put this thing back down on the frame. This kind of stuff makes me nervous. But it's the best way to work on it. Anyway, thanks for watching.